Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back with another episode of the Piledriver. I am Mike, the referee. On my left, on my right is my man Tony.
What up? What up?
And how are you, my friend? How are you?
Good, man. Very good. Cannot complain on a Monday.
We took a little hiatus.
Yeah, last week I could complain. I felt like shit last week.
Complaining. So we got a much needed week of rest and relaxation. But we got a lot going on this week. We got some big announcements that were announced for Kids Fest in 2 weeks at NEOPro. We'll get into that. But the big story of the night, we have a special guest. And our special guest has plenty to talk about. A lot of stuff's been in the social media world lately about him. And, you know, I'm going to ask him himself because I got lots of questions. So let's get him in here. Longtime friend of the pod. He's been around since the beginning. Uncle Wilbur, welcome to the Piledriver podcast.
I am the beginning. And Tony, no need to be a hero tonight. If you're still sick, you don't have to be here. You look terrible, pal.
I look pretty good, I think, actually. I got lighting on me right now. Look.
Okay.
See, I look really nice.
So what you're saying is that you're healthy and you just look like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. What? Okay.
My apologies.
I see what you're trying to say.
I'm trying to look out for you, buddy.
It has been a while since we have talked to you, here on the podcast. I saw you a couple weeks ago, but we do have a lot I do want to discuss with you, my friend. It was announced. You talked about it a little bit last year, 2025. You said you felt like the end was coming, and it was announced that this year, NEOPro Wrestling will be your last wrestling match.
That is true, with a slight caveat, as we found out this last Saturday. Anything can happen in wrestling. But yeah, I wanted to get an official date out there. April 25th is NEOPro 4, the 4th anniversary show. As you mentioned, you guys were around from the very beginning, when we hyped up NEOPro 1 back at the fairgrounds. And I figured that's the perfect time to, put a bow on everything and conclude. But there is that caveat where I got a few matches until then. And if I just so happen to win a championship, I'm a man of my word, and my word is my bond, but I'm also a fighting champion first and foremost. So if I were to hold a championship, I'm going to defend that sucker until it's there you go.
You mean like that one right there.
Right
on this past Saturday at Frostbite, OCW Frostbite, Brandon Fields put his heavyweight championship on the line and was dethroned by one Wilbur Whitlock.
And man, that was a hell of a war. And Mike, I know for a fact you've been big on Brandon Fields for a while, so you know.
Oh yes, no,
not the flashiest guy. He's not gonna, have these crazy graphics on his social media pages or anything like that. But you want to talk about a professional wrestler? He's legit, the professional Brandon Fields, professional, day in, day out, puts in the work. Hell of an athlete. Gave me a hell of a beating, but I gave one right back, and fortunate enough to come out on top. And I actually brought a friend with me here today.
There you go.
Very nice.
No, and I agree. I said everything, pretty much everything that Uncle Wilbur just said. I was talking to Brazzi today, and we were talking about it, and I was like, yes, Brandon Fields is a great wrestler. He's not going to be that one that comes out and does the flips and gets all crazy with it. I'm like, but technically, he's probably one of the best independent wrestlers I've seen around here.
As sound as it gets.
Moniker is the professional. And he's good. I've said this since the first time I saw this guy when he was with the Entourage. I said that shit way back in the day. So I was pleasantly surprised when he snuck his way into that win to get that title at the Battle Royal.
I'll make a not so bold prediction. I don't think it'll be the last time that guy's the heavyweight champion. He's got many less years on him than I do, so he has lots of opportunities, lots more shows. And honestly, I kind of feel bad for whoever else is going to be in his way because he's going to come back pissed off. And when that guy has an edge to him, phew, watch out. But that's for them to worry about. I'll worry about 328, one more round at OCW. I'll worry about defending this title against whoever gets put in front of me, man. And like I said, April 25th right now, tentatively, is absolutely the last date, but I made a promise live. I'll make a promise now. I'll defend that and until somebody's able to beat me for it.
That's what we want to hear. Speaking of April 25th, we just saw you a couple weeks ago, after this announcement. NEOPro came back to Louisville, and it was a night of open challenges, seemingly.
Yeah.
We didn't get to talk about it because we were off last week, so we're going to talk about it a little bit. We started the show with Zay Garcia hosting an open challenge for the IW Guide Heavyweight Championship. And was answered by Bray McKenzie. Not able to take that IW Guide title, but he did put on a hell of a showing, and it's good to see Bray back, post-injury.
Yeah, Bray's back. He's healthy. He's hungry. And, we've seen Bray for a while, and he still has something to prove out there. I know that he's not, even though he's a veteran, he's not at all content and done with what, he's accomplished. But, man, you want to talk about Zay Garcia and a lot of these young guys. They get better every time you see him. You should. That's kind of the idea. Zay Garcia gets like multiple steps better every time you see him. That kid is getting better by leaps and bounds fast. And couldn't be more impressed with what he's been doing. Can't be more impressed with him as just a good young human being altogether, man. It's a hell of a good kid. He's been working his ass off. And Bray was no easy challenge at all, but he's putting that open challenge out there. That could have been anybody, could have been even one of his old backs, teammates. Like it could be anybody. But he had Bray McKenzie, a guy who's a veteran, a guy who's, like we just said, he's healthy, he's hungry, he's looking for a fight. He'd love to get that R of the IW Guide Championship, to help him get going again. But it wasn't to be. Zay's it's going to take a hell of an effort to take down Zay right now.
He is dangerous.
Yeah,
it was a great match. I've followed Zay for a while, ever since the first time I saw him at AIW. I was like, I like that kid. He's solid. So he did a real good job. I was fortunate to get to rep that. But yeah, Bray on a couple close calls, wasn't able to pull it. And then you guys come out. You come out with Matthew Taylor. You are now a devout follower of the light.
How can you not be?
I've been saying this for years.
I can't even argue.
How can you not be?
This for years. It went, and so Matthew Taylor coming out, new NEOPro Heavyweight Champion.
And I was happy to introduce him. Happy to be the one to present him to everybody. He won the title last year at the end of the year at Endgame, and I was happy to bring him into Louisville, basically my hometown, and present him to the crowd as a new heavyweight champion. He deserves it.
He did. I mean, and I'll give it to Matthew Taylor. He's been around and he's fought his way to the top through everything from Beast Man to War Games in the Cage. Matthew Taylor deserves to be a fighting champion.
Absolutely.
I don't think NEOPro management, namely Danny and Jason, were ready for you to try to burn NEOPro to the ground, Uncle Wilbur.
And we're going to rebuild it in the proper image. That's the thing. NEOPro needs to exist, but the direction it was going was not the direction it needed to go. And I know better. Listen, I know better. That crowd still adores me. They know that I know better. And I was more than happy to help set the table for Matthew Taylor to win the heavyweight championship. Happy to set the table in Louisville and in Canton to give NEOPro the champion that not, even if they don't want it, it's the champion they deserve, whether they know it or not.
I mean, I agree with that statement. Matthew Taylor, I've been, like I said, devout follower. Tony and I, Jen even.
Since the day we saw that man, for sure.
So I'm okay with it. I'm here for it. I'm here for the whole match.
Life's going to be a lot easier for you if you are.
Yep.
But after your introduction of the champion, you decided, in the spirit of open challenges, to put one out there for yourself.
Yeah, that was a surprise. That was a surprise for me as well.
An old rival shows up, and like I put in the description, I mean, it's seemingly never ending this feud with Dontavio.
And it's not even a feud. That's a young man who's just misguided. He's just misguided, and he wanted to come out. Hey, I think we've all been there, right? You disagree with your dad. Your dad always says he knows better. He always thinks he knows best. And every once in a while, you thought it was that time where it was time to step up to the old man. You can take him, right? That was Dontavio. He came out there a house of fire. He knocked me on my ass. He thought it was going to be his time, but it wasn't. Because at the end of the day, I still know way more than him. I know way more than everybody, and I knew that he would have weakness. So yeah, I faked it. I feigned an injury. I said, "Oh no, my foot's the same leg. Oh no, no." Yeah, I really hurt my leg a year ago, but last week, no, all a ploy. Got in his head. He let his guard down, and I need him right in his dome and got the 1, 2, 3 because sometimes it's not about the brawn, sometimes it's about the brains, and Uncle Wilbur's got it all, Daddy-O.
I mean, he did come in hot. I'll give you that. And again, maybe that's kind of been his downfall, I guess you could say, lately.
Hothead.
As he
Temperament.
comes out too hot, and he tried to attack Matthew Taylor before, and it did not work out well for him.
Big mistake.
Yep.
He's tried to attack you now and enter into his, this open challenge. But
Big
it has
mistake.
been a while since we saw Dontavio. The crowd was very excited to see him. I don't know how they were, watching him leave.
Hey, listen, great for him. I'm great for the crowd that they got to see him. But again, the young man just a little misguided. And then once I hit you with that shining wizard, hopefully I knock some sense into you. I guess time will tell.
I mean, we will see it. We do have an event coming up in 2 weeks, Kids Fest. Maybe Dontavio will show up.
Maybe he'll show up with a different attitude, with an enlightenment, if you will.
I could see it. But if time proves anything, he's still going to come looking for revenge against the guiding light and yourself.
Foolish move. Foolish move.
We had another, in my opinion, a banger of a match. This was a match of the night candidate. Shaw Mason versus Tyler Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, Tony, I'm telling you, this match cooked. This is one I wish you were there to see.
I wish I was able to make it. Yeah.
This was a good one all day. Tyler Jordan, as we know, was WWE ID, tried out. He went down there, did his little tryout, did the thing. We've seen Shaw Mason. He reminds me of Kurt Angle. Every time I see him, I'm like, he's just Kurt Angle. Like, he's an American wrestler. He comes out and he went to give little gold medals to the kids, and then he said no to the kids, which was kind of shitty.
Oh, bro, wow.
Of him. But these two put on a hellacious match. Tyler Jordan able to pick up a win with a crippler crossface.
Nice. I love a good crossface.
Well, Shaw Mason was supposed to come in a couple of years ago. We talked about Bray recovering from an injury. Shaw Mason had an injury that put him out for a little while. And he's just starting to get back into the swing of things. And looks like he hasn't missed too much of a beat because he was out there going toe-to-toe with Tyler Jordan, who's a bigger guy. Didn't seem to matter. It was 50-50 even the whole way through. But I'll tell you want to talk about NEOPro and rebuilding our image. These are two guys that I could see being there for a long time, as long as they're around. Because you want to talk about good, young, hungry talent. Tyler Jordan actually trains at the gym, actually coaches at the gym in Louisville. So he was a little bit of a hometown hero as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why he probably had the crowd behind him a little bit. Shaw Mason, without being a jerk to the kids, probably isn't going to get him very far. But you're not wrong, Mike. A couple young dudes going out there just right up there for the match of the night, having a hell of a match.
And then right before we had an intermission, though, we had some tag team. I'm going to use a mega word. We had some tag team turmoil. The tag team champions. They were announced. Members only was going to be in action. A match was announced between Jimmy Shane and Patrick Hayes, teaming up to go against the team on my shirt, Studio 86, for the number one contendership. Members only decided we're just going to make that a triple threat match. We don't need to wait for a number one contender. We're going to do this right now. Former tag team champions, Studio 86, tried their damnedest, but I feel their new manager caused a little ruckus and got in the way. I'm still not sold on the Jimmy Shane Patrick Hayes team. I don't know.
If you expect me to sit
confusing.
here, well, if you expect me to sit here and say nice things about Jimmy Shane or Patrick Hayes, you got the wrong guest on. What I will say though, legitimately, both former heavyweight champions, legitimately seem to take issue with what Matt Taylor and I are trying to achieve. Hey, we're all the old guard. As a matter of fact, I think the four of us are probably the pillars of NEOPro. I've said that before. But they've been trying to get in the way of what we're trying to achieve this entire time. Not a big fan of it. Patrick Hayes, who went so far to try to take me out in that nasty chain match of the year, I might add, last year at Endgame. So again, not going to sit here and say glowing terms about those guys, but if you want me to tell you that they're not up to par and not tag team championship caliber, I would be lying to you. They were in the main event as a tag team in the very first NEOPro show. You were there, Mike, which they lost to me in the franchise, Shane Douglas. I just want to throw in.
They did. First tag team champions, by the way.
Yeah. So, hey, and that ended up being a heck of a match. And can we just say the Studio 86 Nasty Boys gear? Big fan. Big fan of the Nasty Boys fanny pack.
100%. The Studio 86 looked great as always, and I will be the first one. I've said this once. I've said it again. It doesn't matter. You can be the assholiest person in the world, and you can put on a good wrestling match, and it can completely change my view. These guys hate 100%. Me and Bill Martell literally exchange middle fingers when we see each other. But
you still bought his shirt.
They're phenomenal wrestlers. I ain't going to disagree with you there. I support the craft, man. I respect it. I tell everybody, and I even shared a picture on the Instagram. I said, Studio 86, we might hate each other, but they will come to your promotion and they will take your tag team titles.
Matt, what a team. What a great team. Me and the franchise beat them as well at NEOPro 2, which was an awesome show. But heck of a tag. Those guys can go, no doubt about it. Ended up being a heck of a match.
Yeah, I was going to say, members only ended up being able to sneak in and retain here, but it was a very close match, and I don't expect this to be the end for either one of these teams.
Not at all. Not at all. They're all hungry for that tag team gold. Members only knows it. Look, love those kids. Love them to death. Love Calvin. Love Malcolm. They know they have a target on their back right now. They know that all the top tag teams are coming. And I'd go ahead and say I think in NEOPro Wrestling, we boast one of the strongest tag divisions around. So they know they're coming for it.
No, 100%. And then we're going to talk about this match. We're going to move into this one. Izzy Lambert, after showing back up, being all over the place, getting his opportunity, getting a title shot against Matthew Taylor for the heavyweight championship. Let's talk about this a little bit, Uncle Wilbur, because you didn't need to make your presence known in this match, and somehow you ended up by ringside, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what it was.
And thank you for giving me the floor to explain what it was. Is that I did notice that Matt Taylor's shoe was untied, and I just felt that was dangerous. I didn't want there to be an unfair advantage, him having to fight.
Nice of you.
A heavyweight title match with an untied shoe. And I will admit, I probably picked not the best time to go out there and address it. It looked like a pinfall was close to happening. I understand that now. But all I was trying to do was reach in to help him retie his shoe. Izzy Lambert got really upset, pulled me into the ring, hit me with Sherry right between the eyes, knocked me silly, completely uncalled for. A man could have tripped over his untied shoe and hurt himself. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Well, hold on. Let's talk. Let's skip because I didn't know that happened. All right. So at the point where Izzy and Uncle Wilbur was trying to tie Matt Taylor's shoe, they essentially started fighting over Matt Taylor and playing tug of war. To which
not
point,
paying attention at all, trying to fix his shoe.
To which point, Izzy Lambert was pushed into me. My glasses go flying. I fall into the ropes. I'm trying to find my glasses. So I don't know that Sherry happened. I don't know. I know that I turned around and Matt Taylor was going for his finishing maneuver. And 1, 2, 3.
Which he hit cleanly 1, 2, 3. He fights by the rules, and I do too. Did we bring Sherry to the ring? Not at all.
Okay. I'm look again.
See,
Will, I wasn't.
proof.
I again, my glasses got knocked off. I couldn't see. I was trying
Maybe
to
you
find.
need like they have like those goggles.
I'm gonna get
like
those
sometimes.
the Kareem
you need,
Abdul-Jabbar goggles.
Right.
Maybe it's time for you to up your rate and start saving for some LASIK, Mike. I'm just saying. Just
Hey,
suggesting.
I
You could up your rate.
I could.
Yeah. You did a great job, by the way. You did a great job. You're
Matt
not
Taylor retained his title. I didn't see any shenanigans
No,
except
sir.
for Uncle Wilbur trying to tie a shoe, I guess.
You're not looking at shoes. You're looking for pinfalls, 1, 2, 3, breaking the rules. I'm looking for shoes in the back and making sure everybody's safe.
Well, Matt Taylor was able to retain his title. And then let's talk about this championship match. Jocelyn Navarro going one-on-one with Sebastian LaShawn. They met before at NEOPro. Jocelyn defeated Sebastian. She was then hired by Dr. Crefudo as the bounty hunter to try to take down the baddest witch at Mega. And
What a
she was
surprise.
unsuccessful.
That was crazy.
This was 1-1. This was the rubber match here coming in to NEOPro at Louisville. And this was a phenomenal match.
But nobody will ever accuse Jocelyn Navarro of lacking confidence, right? Did you hear on the microphone before that match? But listen, as a pro, we just know this sort of thing. If somebody beats you, maybe it was even a little bit of luck, but if somebody beats you even once, you got in the back of their mind that they can get you again. And I think that
Right.
I don't want to speak for Jocelyn. Lord knows she can speak for herself. Staying out of that one.
Yeah.
But as a pro, I'm just saying there's a little bit of doubt. And hey, I want to slap Michael Contos all the time too, but you can't do it in the middle of the ring during your match. You're going to get disqualified. And that's unfortunately what happened.
Tony, what happened is it seemed to me that Sebastian went down and she hit Jocelyn and with her big knee. And she went down for a pinfall. And when Jocelyn kicked out, she caught a little bit of Mike's chin. I don't know if referee Mike Contos was a little too close or a little, I don't know.
Accidents happen.
On the replay, I don't know. So she kicked
Probably trying to get a little too close to Jocelyn. I get it, but be a pro.
Contos,
he said something to her about the contact. Apparently, the champ didn't like that. She cocked off and slapped the shit out of him.
Nope. He messed up.
He had no choice but to ring the bell. The winner by disqualification, Sebastian LaShawn. However, still the NEOPro Women's Champion, Jocelyn Navarro.
Which means that sounds like unsettled business still.
I agree. Sebastian's up 2-1. I don't know. I mean, I ain't trying to get slapped. I ain't trying to get slapped.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say Sebastian's up 2-1 if you don't want to get slapped.
And then, last but not least, in my opinion, was the match of the night. Trey Lamar versus Mikey Montgomery for the Great Lakes Championship. Tony, this match cooked, bro. We knew going in when we talked about that this was going to cook. And this one was so close. There were so many near falls. Both these men laid it out on the line to the point where at the end, after Trey Lamar retained, he had no choice but to shake Mikey Montgomery's hand until they were attacked. Some masked guys. I had no idea who these masked men were. 2 masked men show up. They beat up Mikey and Trey. And then Matthew Taylor comes out at the end and picks up the Great Lakes Championship and holds both championships in the air. So, Uncle Wilbur, were these men a product of Matthew Taylor? Do you know these guys?
Now listen, completely fair you want to ask me that question. Completely fair you want to ask me that question. And you might not believe me, the fans might not believe me, and that's fine. I had nothing to do with that. I don't know who those men were. We can all vouch for this. I have a pretty recognizable build. Those guys were not me.
They were
I'll
not
tell
a
you,
pullover.
they were
They
not
were,
me.
they
I'll
were
tell you that.
small. They were small in stature, Tony.
They were smaller guys.
They
Okay.
were smaller
Okay.
guys.
But they listen.
That doesn't mean. I mean, you're very good friends with Matthew Taylor, correct?
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know nothing.
Hey, listen, I know a lot. I know a lot of plans. We made a lot of plans behind the scenes that nobody saw. When we dropped that bombshell at the Gold Rush last year, sharing a drink over our plans to take down NEOPro, we kept that secret for almost a year. I know a lot of things. I don't know anything about this, guys. I'm telling you, looking y'all right in at the camera, right directly. I don't know anything about this right now.
Yeah. So
All right,
and
we'll
these
fix
guys
this.
Matthew Taylor
And
operates in new ways.
when security and myself, because we were sent out there to, they took off, they ran out of the crowd, they ducked, they ran out of the building. I
Okay.
don't know.
Didn't
So
see
they
him
weren't
come
standing with Matthew Taylor.
No.
Didn't see him come in. I only seen him leave just the way you guys did too.
And then let's talk about at intermission. Let's talk about the baby that entered the ring. All right.
What?
So Tony, during intermission, a baby got in the ring. I don't know how he got past the guardrails. He climbed
Did
up
security
the steps.
tackle him? What
Bad
happened?
parenting, bad security. That baby was about 3 seconds away from getting that shining wizard right into his head. I don't jump
Right.
that high these days,
A
and I don't
curb
have
stomp,
to for that stinking baby.
something.
Yeah, it was about to. You're gonna get in my ring. You're gonna play by my rules.
Will ended up wrangling the baby. But yeah, it was a really funny moment at intermission. But yeah, so NEOPro ended with Matthew Taylor holding both titles. Seemingly the gospel of the light is in full force going into NEOPro 4.
I heard him say out loud, "I want it all. I want it all." He's a heavyweight champion. He's not content with just that. Trey Lamar, members only. Watch out. The man wants
The
it all.
best usually are not content with just that.
If he wanting it all is going to be the big go here, because I mean, it's just you and him, Uncle Wilbur. You can't hold you guys. You're gonna get Great Lakes, and then you guys are both gonna hold the gold, or these new recruits seemingly helping Matthew Taylor.
I have an end date. I have an end date in sight. But if along the way I get to help Matthew Taylor conquer it all, then that's the plan for me.
Jason said, "I don't think I've sworn that much on the headset ever."
He did not. No.
Again, once we were out of there to try to get these guys out of the ring, they were out of the ring and out of the building faster than we were able to.
No, not for Matthew Taylor and the Mascoons. It was for the baby. The baby had the most heat.
That's true. That the baby had the most heat at intermission. It was wild. We did yell a couple times. Somebody tackled that baby. But coming up, NEOPro has an event in 2 weeks, Uncle Wilbur. I don't know if you will be there or not, but I know that we will be.
I will. And unlike your last guest, Blake Dixon, I actually know what I'm doing, and I'll put over the show that I'm going to be on.
Well, he will. Blake Dixon will be there. We'll get over this. We'll go over what's been announced so far. We have some big things announced. The man, Big Bill Collier, Agent Zero himself, will be in action.
What an impression he made last year against Josh Bishop. What a match that was.
For the mega title, by the way.
That was.
It was for the mega title. Hell of a match.
I've actually gotten a chance to work with Bill multiple times, and this guy is an absolute monster in the ring, an absolute machine, and an absolute wealth of knowledge, and is willing to help and talk to anybody. He's a great, great pro wrestler.
Can confirm.
This is a couple things. We don't have much into that. Some of these have been talked. We'll get into that as it gets.
We'll get into that.
As a stuff. We did have, again, Tony. We had some stuff pulled up today or announced today that we didn't get to, but we don't have a graphic for. But since
I'm working on.
well, you're all right. Since Uncle Wilbur brought up Blake Dixon, we'll talk about Blake Dixon a little bit.
Do we have to?
No, we don't have to. But we're going to say this because it was announced. It was announced today that Kids Fest will be a fatal 4-way match.
And there's already people lining up, volunteering to inflict harm on that numbskull, Blake Dixon. Again, kid, if you're booked for a show, talk positive about the show. This is Pro Wrestling 101. Free advice from your uncle. After that, I'm going to charge you. I'm going to charge you more than Creep Udo does.
In the chat, Blake Dixon, he heard his name, and we actually saw one of the other competitors in this match was in the chat. I don't know if he still is.
Is he the Timu version of Joe Hendry that he saw his name and he showed up?
I mean, maybe. But he will be making his NEOPro debut. He did get a big win on Thursday over Brandon Xavier.
Still shocked.
But he will be making his NEOPro debut in a 4-way match against Izzy Lambert, Bray McKenzie, and the 2025 fan favorite of the year, Brazzy Suave. So,
I'm not talking about that goon that was on the show last week. The other three I'll talk about.
That's fine.
Woo, got loud.
Sorry.
Goodbye, Bray McKenzie. I think, and by the way, we'll just talk about Kid Fest very, very quickly. As you can see on the screen, guys, Mix 94.1, top pop, music station here in Stark County in Canton. 1480 is the top AM station down here. And they put on a show every year, and they always have some different kinds of entertainment. Matt Fantone, friend of ours, friend of the show,
yes,
and a friend of all things wrestling, helps put this thing together. And, he's thrilled to have us have NEOPro there this year. So there is going to be, for anybody listening, especially with the parents out there, this will definitely be a kid-friendly show. I believe it's only $5 for admission to the event, which is going to have concessions, prizes, games, all sorts of food.
I'm so excited.
And then for $10, you get there's a Taylor Swift tribute concert, like a cover concert, which old school Swiftie here. Not a big fan of her new stuff, but you want to fire up some Love Story, your boy is on it. No shame in my game on that.
I don't think we'll be having a baby match at the next show. That's not legal. Other matches announced for Kids Fest. We will have the return.
Real quick before we move on to that, Brazzy Suave, as you mentioned, fan favorite of the year for the kids. Look, Brazzy Suave, about as great of an interactive young man as you're going to meet, man. He'll be out there. He'll take every picture. He'll talk to all the kids. Has a lot of great merch to sell. So, because I believe this is going to be his NEOPro debut as well. He was smart enough to actually talk positively about the company that's booking him, unlike the other goof. But guys, come out, get a chance to talk to Brazzy. What an awesome young man. And Izzy and Bray, you guys know, and that should be a very good match. Hopefully they double up the chops that Brandon threw on old Blakey boy.
Devin said I'll be there next Friday, so be ready. Well, I don't know where you'll be on Friday because we'll be at Kids Fest on Saturday. So, if you're there Friday, you're going to be really early. But, hey, I mean, maybe you'll be front row. You'll get your front row seat.
It's at the Canton Civic Center. Get a good seat, yeah.
I agree with everything Uncle Wilbur said. Brazzy Suave out here. Super. I've never seen anybody that the fans gravitate towards as much.
Exactly. Especially some of the younger fans. That's who, this thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He legitimately has a fan that comes every week to Turmoil just to see him. He likes the wrestling, he likes a couple other guys, but he wears his mask. He's there to see Brazzy Suave. So, Bray McKenzie, Izzy Lambert coming off that loss to Matt Taylor he's going to be angry. Bray McKenzie coming off his loss to Zay Garcia, he's going to be angry.
And two guys making debuts. Everybody was something to.
So this should be an amazing fatal 4-way match. And then Tony got it pulled up here right now. So let's talk about this. The Cowboy, Shelby Wilder, will be going one-on-one with Uncle Wilbur.
Well, unfortunately, NEOPro Uncensored, had to get canceled. It was canceled for some reasons beyond our control. This match was booked. It was going to be a saloon showdown. Hey, I'm putting it out there right now. If Shelby still wants to have the saloon showdown with me, I'm down for it. I understand a saloon showdown, maybe not so kid-friendly. I get it. I see Jason's in there. Jason, shut up. I'm talking right now. Listen, saloon showdown, I'm ready to go. Okay, maybe thumbtacks and some glass and barbed wire, not so kid-friendly, but I I think we could still have a saloon showdown if the old cowboy is ready for it. I know I am.
I mean, I know the kids do love a little violence these days, so
No
that
joke.
could be there. But as you know, while you were telling Jason to shut up, Uncle Wilbur, he did say you guys want to I assume it's just a breaking announcement for Kids Fest. So let's hear it, Jason. Let's hear it. Breaking Piledriver exclusive.
Steal my thunder again, pizza boy. Yeah.
Caitlin also said, "Yeah, Jason, shut up." So
he's smart. While he announces this, I just want to say Shelby's fine. Shelby's a nice enough guy. Peaches is an asshole. Everybody loves Peaches. No, Peaches has an attitude problem. Peaches is disrespectful. Peaches is still green and acts like a big shot behind the scenes. And I got a problem with Peaches. And I think I might take out some of my animosity on Peaches personally.
On the horse? Oh, no. Peaches never did anything. And then, yes, this match as well. So in the chat, Brandon Xavier in the chat, he said, I hope that the kids throw things at Blake Dixon.
That'll be encouraged.
Ekman said, teacup, Jason shush. And my buddy Kevin said, Jack heard you talking about him and said, hey, you're talking about me. That's the kid that comes to see Brazzi Suave. Jason said, Tony, check your messages.
I don't think I have anything.
He said you better check your shit.
Amateur hour.
Oh, just got it.
Oh. He just got it.
Hayes and Colt Johnson. That's going to be a heck of a match.
Patrick Hayes versus Colt Johnson. Colt Johnson made his debut at NEOPro last year at the fest.
Oh, shit.
So I'm excited to see Colt Johnson come back. Patrick Hayes, you know how we feel about Patrick Hayes here on the Piledriver podcast. So I hope he gets bucked up. I hope Patrick Hayes gets bucked up.
By Colt? You kidding me?
No.
But
he's the longest reigning Infinity champion. Don't sleep on Colt Johnson.
Colt can hold his own.
Absolutely. He's a talented young man, but I don't know if his chest. I don't know if his chest is. First of all, Jill over here agrees with you. We're ignoring her. I hope Colt's chest is ready because nobody throws a chop like Patrick Hayes. I think we can agree about that. I don't know if Colt Johnson's ready for what he has in store.
All right. Well, I will tell you. I don't know if you follow Senior Colt Johnson on the social medias. He did post a little picture today. He is not the same guy he was 1 year ago.
So hitting the gym is great. The kid looks good. You get one of those Patrick Hayes chops across your chest and it takes your breath away. You get to see what you're made of. I'm just saying.
I'm sure he can throw some back, but we will see on the 14th.
Let's see this.
Tony's got the. Oh my Lanta! We have the opponent for Bill Collier, and it is none other than another 6-foot-plus monster in Isaiah Prince. Holy hell! This match is gonna be dope.
It's gonna be crazy.
We're gonna have a hoss fight, boys. We're gonna have a hoss fight in the main event. Woo!
Wow. This is over 12 combined feet, at least 450 pounds.
You're talking 13 combined feet. I think both guys are about at least 6.5.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, geez Louise. What a match announced for Kids Fest right here on the Piledriver podcast. Thank you, Mr. Maddox. We appreciate it.
That was almost worth cutting me off for. Almost.
Almost. Make sure you get your tickets right now. Like Uncle Wilbur said, $5. You can't beat it.
$5. Do something to support the kids, man. And for $5, you're going to get a hell of a afternoon of action. That's it. That's all in the afternoon. So you get to go enjoy a wrestling show and you get to go enjoy the rest of your day as this weather gets better.
I was going to say, I believe wrestling starts at noon.
Yeah. Can't beat that. Come on downtown to Canton. Bring the kids out. Enjoy a fun day of wrestling. Spend a couple extra bucks. Listen to some great Taylor Swift songs. That's a good afternoon, man.
100%. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a blast. I hope they have caramel apples. Those are my favorite. I'm
a sucker for an elephant ear.
Oh, those are good too.
Yeah, those are good.
Devin's in the chat. He said, I still have therapy because of that horse when I got hit in the eye talking about peaches. Will said, big meaty men slapping meat, and Caitlin got a little happy over that comment. Now, Uncle Wilbur, I do want to ask you: did you watch Elimination Chamber over the weekend, or did you at least see some highlights?
I've had to check up on the highlights. As you know, I was a little bit busy winning the
That's
OCW Heavyweight title on Saturday night. But when I was able to check out some highlights, now listen, we're still all fans at heart. So show winds down, we're in the locker room, we got it up on the phone, and we're talking wrestling. And then I heard Serious, which is the song by Alan Parsons, which if you're an old school basketball fan like you and I are, Mike, you'll know, which I hate Michael Jordan, the Bulls, Cavs fan for life. But that Serious entrance from the Alan Parsons Project for those old Chicago Bulls games, it's kind of epic. So we hear that fire up, and I think I told the guys in the locker room, I was like, shut up a minute. We need to watch this.
It was really, really cool. As somebody, like, again, and I am a Cavs fan through and through. When I grew up, I was around. I watched Michael Jordan shoot on Craig Elo, and we killed us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been there. I watched Jordan destroy us multiple times in the playoffs. And yes, I love Michael Jordan, but I'm from Cleveland, so that was always heartbreaking. But that entrance was probably my favorite thing as a kid. The bull running through the city, the laser light show in 92 or 93, 94 was just way before its time. And to see CM Punk get that was fucking awesome.
Awesome. And look, and hey, CM Punk is a controversial character. What is this baldy all upset about?
Peapod in the chat.
Yeah. But listen, CM Punk, especially as he's entering the twilight of his career. Like, I don't know how much longer he has left or anything like that, but I got in the independent scene myself in 2003. CM Punk was blowing up in 2003. Personally, huge CM Punk fan. Followed his career literally every step in the way. Best in the world. We know this. And the way, and I'll just say, speak this candidly. The way that Punk has kind of turned himself around, where like his name is literally CM Punk. Maybe had a little bit of an off-putting attitude. Maybe he spoke his mind a little too much. You can debate that, right? Yep. Now he's gotten a little bit older, a little wiser. We get older, we get wiser in our 40s, man. And so
you learn, you change.
I feel like, especially at this point in my life, I see the way that he is, where you can stand by your convictions, you can stand by the person you want to be, but you can also be the adult in the room sometimes. And as my career is starting to wind down, and well aware of the appreciation that I have from a lot of my peers, I take that to heart. And so I think he's kind of an inspiration for what you can change and what you can become in wrestling. You can always change your own narrative. You can always write your own story. It doesn't have to be written for you.
Clip it. That was, I agree 110%. I've been a CM Punk fan since the beginning. I've Ring of Honor, the whole nine. When he came out, I remember when he came out to the AFI music, I marked. I'm in AEW.
Yeah, dude, you see they're putting that in their new 2K game?
I did see they got that in the new 2K game.
I might buy it just for that. It's going to
get me believe that he owns the rights, which makes me believe that CM Punk owns the rights, because I know he owns the rights to. Who does it now? To the Cult of Personality.
He actually had him redo the song. It's a different recording, which is awesome.
Makes sense.
Jen said, "How did I just now notice Wilbur's name? If you haven't noticed, it says Uncle F and Wilbur, champion stud, Tony's daddy."
Holy shit! I didn't notice that either.
It said that the whole time.
Wow.
Tone, look, Jen and I are both big fans of each other. You just got to accept it at this point.
Now, Uncle Wilbur, you said you big Indies guy and you followed Punk from the Indies. Let's talk about something that, in my opinion, has been super controversial all over the IWC. But in my opinion, the people that are upset about it just don't know how good it's going to be. The box was revealed, and it was Danhausen.
But I'll say this. Danhausen got put in a bad spot because I think a lot of people were expecting or hoping for Jericho. So...
I never really saw Jericho coming out of a box.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't, even his surprises, that doesn't fit Jericho to me.
So, what the big hubbub is right now is that the reaction or lack thereof for Danhausen at the live event. And again, I think that's probably more of a we were expecting something else reaction, less than a
something grander.
And to be fair, whether we wanted to be or not, and I don't think it's a good thing, but wrestling fans are tribal. There is a good chance that a large portion of the audience had not seen Danhausen, whether it was on the independent scene or in AEW, which, to be fair, he was in AEW for a while, but he wasn't used that often, especially recently on AEW.
Well, he very much got the Brody Lee treatment in AEW, like the way Brody Lee was treated here. Luke Harper he asked to be used at WWE. If you're not going to use me, give me my release. If you're not going to use me, give me my release. And they gave him his release finally, and we saw what he did in AEW. Danhausen, I was reading all kinds of articles. I've been literally all over it today. Said the same thing. He asked for his release a bunch of times, and they essentially extended his contract and just kept him sitting in the back.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks. That doesn't help him in his career at all.
At 1 p.m. today from what was it? Not Van Vliet, Ross. Sean Ross Sapp or Sean Sapp Ross or whatever the hell his name is. Very reputable WWE reporter. Danhausen has the #1 shirt on WWEshop.com. If people don't know Danhausen, and that's what's crazy, is like Danhausen is so funny. I saw people in comments on Twitter. Dude, imagine that they put Danhausen with R-Truth, and R-Truth thinks that he's Sting.
I've seen that too.
I love that.
R-Truth's like, oh my God, I know you. You're the Scorpion guy, or something like.
People on the internet can talk. Us on a podcast, we can talk. What speaks louder than any of that? Money talks.
Right.
Money talks. And that's the thing. And he's going to sell some merchandise. Kids are going to be entertained.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be intrigued. Why has he got a jar of teeth?
And they have they're going to sell little jars of teeth. Like what? Like.
So let the machine get behind him, and let's see what they can do with him. Yeah, I think it's exciting. At the very least, even if you were coming into it going, I don't know this guy, I don't understand this guy. Are you asking yourself, I kind of want to see what he does next?
Yep,
that's good enough. And maybe the next chapter isn't the best, but we don't know that yet. But we at least want to see what he does next.
And I agree. When he, obviously being an indie fan, I've met him at AIW, and I believe it was Michelle said something about it. I've gone to an AIW show where Danhausen was there, and literally in the next booth over was my favorite announcer's favorite tag team, Demolition, and the line for Danhausen was out the frickin' door. And there was 25 people at Demolition, and they're about to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Like,
deservedly so.
Danhausen's character is freaking phenomenal, and I cannot wait. And I hope that it just gets exposed on TV, and he gets to just like, here, go have creative freedom.
You know, maybe it is more of an internet kind of thing where the WWE machine hasn't really seen it all that much. You know, they're not tapped into the internet as much, the IWC, so. As soon as he did debut, like shirt sales, boom, all this spreads and interest is there for sure. But maybe not.
Yeah, they said people were in the back. I read, the conglomerate of corporate was on his debut.
Dude, they said he was the new gobbledygooker.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
And I was reading that, and again, that's too much, man. He's definitely the gobbledygooker.
I understand that, and I see that where maybe it's 50-50, where some people just don't get it.
Yeah,
I get all of that. I'm a bit of an old schooler myself by heart, so do I totally get it? Not 100%, but I do understand a guy who's committed to his character. I do understand who's committed to entertaining. I understand a guy who's committed to getting his segment and everything else over. I get all of that, and so even if it's not my favorite thing on the show, I can see it and respect it that it's a guy who's working his ass off, getting a character, being somebody different that everybody will talk about.
Right.
If they didn't know who he was in Chicago, kids left going, well, what was that guy coming out of the box in the casket and all the they're going to talk in the jar of teeth.
Why did he hand Michael Cole a jar of teeth? Like what?
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. And they have his shirt really there, after the show up for sale, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yep. And then after the show on the way out, now his shirt's up.
Yep.
But so that was exciting. AJ Lee won her Intercontinental Championship, but in my opinion, she looked a little rust buckety.
Can we briefly elaborate on that?
Sure.
So this was we were actually in the locker room with Tatiana and and just a couple of us. We're talking about AJ Lee and women's wrestling all together. And so AJ Lee today in 2026, does she measure up to Becky Lynch, who is fucking awesome? No, she's not on that level right at all. But what AJ Lee did and why she deserves her flowers is that she came along in an era when it was still divas and it was still the Vince and the Johnny mold of women's wrestling, of the plastic and the blondes and the, I mean, you know the look without being lewd. That's what they're looking for, and wrestling wasn't really even important. Model. And so what AJ did was she was a legitimate fan and legitimately loved it and legitimately worked to try to get better. And no, she's never had the 5-star match or anything like that. But she was somewhat inspirational on getting like some of these other women to go, no, I really like wrestling. I really like pro wrestling. I'm a pro wrestling fan, and I want to involve myself in professional wrestling. I don't want to get fake boobs. I don't want to have the porn star makeup. I want to be a woman who's a wrestler and go out there and wrestle. And AJ really did set the table for a lot of that. And then Paige and Emma, and then of course the 4 horsewomen in NXT came along, not long after that. So I think it is awesome that AJ gets her flowers for that. I think she deserves it. Again, is she on the level of Becky or 80% of the women that are active right now today? Probably not, but she deserves this moment because there's a groundbreaking element to her that I think is kind of understated.
Definitely.
I agree 110%. I always have loved AJ Lee because of that fact. She came along in the era where she called it. She never got to hold a women's championship. She held a butterfly belt. Yep. And
correct.
She came along in an era where essentially there were no women wrestlers. They were all essentially trying to be Playboy models, the Candice Michelles, and there weren't that many female wrestlers.
And you can't knock those women at the time. That was what they were looking for. That was what the job description was, and that's that's not a knock.
That's Phoenix in there.
There were the outliers for sure, but that's unfortunately what the job was at the time. And for her to kind of break through that ground, I think is pretty cool. And I think it's cool when she gets her flowers this day and age.
I agree. I love it. I was excited for her to win the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
I was excited when she came back. I was super pumped for that. So, Randy winning the chamber match was pretty solid. I very much enjoyed the decoy masked man. The second when he slid underneath the ring and I was like, oh shit, there's another one. The minute he hit the side kick to the gut, I was like,
that looked like him. I
was like, that one's Seth. I was like, that's for sure Seth. And then obviously going after Logan Paul, but we have to wonder that was supposed to be Bronson Reed, which was originally supposed to be Braun Breaker.
I didn't even think about that.
This isn't the first time it's happened. There's been other years, especially if you guys listen to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. Sometimes just stuff gets snake bit. Guys get hurt, and it's like, oh, it's okay. We got a backup plan. Well, then the backup plan gets screwed up.
And what's crazy is, like, I don't know if you saw that episode of Raw where Bronson Reed got hurt, because Braun Breaker, you couldn't avoid that. I believe he had hernia, so you can't avoid that. That's you can't do nothing about that. Bronson Reed did a rollover to break up a pin. He literally didn't do anything but grab the guy's stomach to pull him off, and just the way he landed on his arm, distal bicep tear, his freaking muscle pops off his bone. Like, that's insane. Just freak accident injury, and now we're going to get Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins as the Vision. But I kind of
should be a very good match. Still should be a very good match.
I kind of want Austin Theory. Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins.
That could be the moment for Theory to kind of break out of the mold that I think a lot of people kind of, pigeonholed him in. I'll give you that.
Yeah, that would be a good chance for him. I don't know that he would be able to take the opportunity and run with it, but that's there it is.
And then obviously the women's match, Rhea Ripley winning, which I'm kind of disappointed with, to be honest. We all like Rhea Ripley, sure. She's great. I kind of wanted Raquel to win.
Well, I think it's just unfortunate Bianca has this real mysterious finger injury, because I was kind of calling her for the Rumble, thinking, man, she's been gone for a while.
I wanted her to be in the box.
Yeah.
I expected somebody like
been
a
fun.
Tiffany, to get beat up or something like that in the back, or something happens to Tiffy, or something happens to Asuka, and then you open the box before and Bianca pops out. I expected Bianca or Chris Jericho out of the box. That's what I thought. Yeah. I'm not mad at Danhausen at all, but I expected Bianca or Chris Jericho, and when I saw Bianca's finger a couple weeks ago, she just
had surgery.
She got just surgery, and she's got 20 fucking stitches in her ring finger. Like, what the hell's going on?
Isn't that wild? And as Cavs fans, James Harden just broke his thumb and missed 2 games, and you don't understand the magnitude. And when you just see it on paper, you see, well, finger injury. Well, yeah, she might miss a month or 2. You don't, and you just don't really understand the magnitude, because all that stuff can get complicated very, very quickly. And with Rhea, it's a safe call. It is a safe call. Rhea is incredible. There's just no 2 ways around. She looks incredible. She's a walking megastar. With apologies to Ashton Day.
I think the plan, obviously, because during the CM Punk Finn Balor match, it looked like there was a point where Finn was going to call out the Judgment Day, and he did not. I think the breakup is coming soon. And I think, partly that. And if you would have had Raquel win here, that could have.
Raquel lived tension. You got stories to tell.
Yeah, so I don't know. I liked Raquel. What they're calling her, Big Mommy Cool or something like that.
Right,
I'm all about it. I'm like, I played like Big Daddy Cool Diesel. I'm all about it.
To her credit, do you know the backstory on that? Kevin Nash said on his podcast that he liked Raquel Rodriguez, but she just needed to work bigger. She's bigger than everybody.
Yes.
Needed to work bigger. And to both of their credits, she listened, and she had the best year of her career, I think, this last year.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I just heard that today or yesterday.
I used to not like her at all.
Right. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And she's very much grown on me, and I'm like, holy shit, she's awesome.
Yeah, easily had the best year of her career here.
So, all right, we got one more thing, Uncle Wilbur. We'll get you out of here. We're doing this GOAT tournament here.
Okay.
I don't know if you've been paying attention. We got every week we're putting up 4 matches. We asked the crowd, the family at the Piledriver podcast, all over the socials to nominate their GOATs of wrestling.
Okay.
They got put into a randomizer, and they got put into a tournament. So the numbers mean nothing. They are not seeds. Don't pay no attention to them. We then put it up on Facebook, and we asked people to vote with a thumb or a heart. And the winners go on, and we'll find out who the GOAT is based on fan voting.
Yep. We still got a few weeks to go.
This week we had the Iron Sheik going up against Shawn Michaels. As you can see, my GOAT will be moving on.
It's a bad draw for Sheiky Baby. Sheiky Baby deserves more credit than I think he gets in history. He really, really does. He was a heat magnet. He was a legitimate tough guy, hell of an entertaining guy. But it's HBK. He's not winning this round.
No, I agree. And there's been a couple. There's been a couple in the past that have got bad draws, and they deserve to move on. And then Uncle Wilbur, I bet Uncle Wilbur didn't vote on that one, Tony. I bet you he didn't. So we'll make him vote, and he'll be the deciding factor.
I didn't see this one. No, I didn't see it.
There you go. No. Okay.
Boom. So we'll make. We have a tie, Uncle Wilbur. One of these has a tie tonight.
Okay.
So
I don't think I can get a coin flip up on this now that I think about it. But that works.
Here it is. Here it is. Ooh. This is our tie. Who moves on, Uncle Wilbur? Dolph Ziggler or Jeff Hardy?
So we're talking GOATs, just GOAT, right? We're talking, so it's combining everything.
Take the whole body of work into it. Jeff Hardy, you can use TLC matches and everything, which is crazy that it's this close.
So this is where I'm going to go with this. So Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is a worker's worker. Dolph Ziggler can make anybody look good. Dolph Ziggler, you can put him anywhere on the card. He's believable as a main eventer. He's believable in the opening match. He's believable in tag teams. That guy never takes a night off. Jeff Hardy has had ups and downs. Incredibly high, has had his lows, and his lows are low. You can't deny that. The tag team accolades, it's a no-brainer, right? The reason why I'm going to go this, and I'm going to tell you this candidly, I'm a bigger fan of Dolph Ziggler. Jeff Hardy has to get my vote because the popularity, his peak was higher than what Dolph Ziggler's ever was. Jeff Hardy at his peak made more money, had bigger matches, if you want to talk about the GOAT, and just has an innate charisma about him that you just can't teach. I'm a bigger fan of Dolph. If you're talking about the GOAT, the vote goes for Jeff Hardy.
So there it is. Jeff Hardy
Hardy
winning
moves
by a
forward.
score of 10-9. I agree, though. I've seen Dolph Ziggler. I only watch Chris Van Vliet episodes or listen to him sometimes. Like depending on who's on.
There's certain
the Dolph
yes,
Ziggler
100%.
episode I listen to, and his comment about the way Dolph sells is top notch. And I've said the same thing to Sebastian. It's insane.
It's
the way
it's
that a move gets taken is nothing I've ever seen by anybody else.
I saw Sebastian take the widow's peak from Jossie at Maslin and was just genuinely concerned for her well-being. I was like, holy shit. Like, are you okay? She's a pro, man.
Yeah.
Sebastian is a champ.
100%.
Our next matchup, this was super duper easy. Eddie Guerrero against Jon Moxley.
I think this was a bad pick for Moxley, honestly.
Bad draw from Moxley.
Yeah.
Moxley deserves his flowers. Moxley will absolutely cement his place in history at some point. And Eddie Guerrero. I mean,
I believe Moxley is the only member of the Shield that did not move on to the second round. I don't know if Seth Rollins has been there, but I know we had Roman already, and Roman moved on.
I think Seth might be in the next one.
Okay.
In the last.
And then, see, this is another one where Trish got a bad draw. We only ended up with 4 girls being picked, and unfortunately, they got Paige got put up against Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
The draws are the draws sometimes, yeah.
Right.
Obviously, 2026 Hall of Famer AJ Styles, which I think they just did so he wouldn't go to AEW. That concerns me. But 9-2. Trish, you can't discount what Trish did for the game. Trish was there in both eras of the I want to look good, but I can also wrestle.
And she's gotten a lot better even since she's come back and a few times.
She has been fantastic since she's been back.
I agree. She looks way better now than she did back then. So AJ Styles will be moving on. And then, here's what we got so far, Uncle Wilbur. Ric Flair moved over Triple H. Lita actually moved on against Hulk Hogan.
There's some recency bias, which is completely fair.
That's what happened in that one. The Rock.
She's not better than the Hawks.
Yes. The Rock over Batista. Stone Cold over Roddy Piper.
Ooh.
We got Jeff Hardy going up against Stone Cold Steve Austin in the next round. So it's going to be bad.
That'll be interesting.
I'm glad I got to break that tie. It's going to be a moot point after that round.
Yeah, I'll have to move that around.
Andre the Giant got the win over Paige. Macho Man Randy Savage got the win over Kurt Angle. Shawn Michaels got the win over Iron Sheik. AJ Styles over Trish Stratus. Taker over Roman Reigns did not move on because he went up against Undertaker. Roman Reigns got the
bad draw.
That's right, because he went. I was upset about that one. Bray Wyatt moving on over Kenny Omega. So our last 4, the last 4 that will be up is Owen Hart. That's a no-brainer against Tony Storm.
Unfortunate for her, yeah. Easy.
CM Punk versus Randy Orton.
No,
ooh, that'll be close. I bet.
Mick Foley going up against Seth Rollins.
Wow.
And
Seth
Bryan Danielson against John Cena.
Nice.
We got some heavy hitters still to come.
The last round is packed with heavy hitters. So we will see. Make sure you're tuning in to the Piledriver on social medias to get those votes in. Uncle Wilbur, thank you so much for joining us, man. We appreciate you hanging out.
It's always fun. It's always fun. Hey, you guys got time for me one more time before we call it a wrap, correct?
Always.
All right, because we got some selling to do. But, hey, thank you guys, as always, for having me on. It is always fun. I'm a day one guy. I'm happy to see the growth and happy to see you guys doing well. Thank you for supporting NEOPro, OCW, Mega, all the indies out there. And, hey, come check me out. I'll be around on 3/14. Not only will I be at Kid Fest during the afternoon, I'll be up north in Parma for RSW. Will be myself and the guy you like, Matthew Taylor, taking on the tag team champions. It's either going to be Saturday Night Special or the Feasty Boys, whoever wins on 3-7. So we got a tag team title match up in Parma, 328. It's one more round for OCW. We'll be back at the church on Crumroy in Springfield. And then we got April 11th back in Louisville at the Eagles for NEOPro Wrestling. And then 425, Wilbur's last call. It's going to be a party, kids. It's going to be a party.
I'll be there for that. I will be at all future NEOPro events for the foreseeable future, unless something just coincides with Mega. Like Uncle Wilbur said, he'll be at RSW. We have OCW coming on the 28th. We also have Mega on the 28th as well. So that is where we will be. But make sure you get your tickets. You see Uncle Wilbur on this retirement run. And I spoke to Jill specifically actually earlier today, and she said I told her she couldn't have you all the time. So Uncle Wilbur's not. He's not really. He's just done wrestling for a little bit. You'll still see him around once in a while.
Yeah.
I said she
can't
couldn't
quit y'all. Can't quit y'all. Tony, you gonna show up to Turmoil?
Oh, I'm always at Turmoil.
Maybe I'll see you there one time, pal.
Oh, I'm about it.
We'll see who Jen cheers for.
There we go. Well, make sure on that note, make sure you tune into Turmoil this Thursday night, 8:00, to see what happens. Last week, Uncle Wilbur's new not favorite wrestler, Blake Dixon, picked up a big win over Brandon Xavier. So we'll see what happens this week. But Uncle Wilbur, thank you for coming. We will see you on the 14th at Kids Fest with Mix 94.1. And
I love all the nieces and nephews out there. Except for Blake Dixon. Fuck that kid.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is all. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Everybody go watch Raw. I know we're a little bit behind. There's some stuff going on. The Visions
That's
of
all
the
right.
Ring
You can skip
I'm
the
watching.
commercials.
But yeah, skip the commercials. We appreciate you.
Netflix
Everybody have a
really
great night.
Cheers, Bets.